Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel. If you're hanging out with us tonight, we are counting down to Final Destination Bloodlines dropping sometime very soon, and your boy is very excited for it. So, coverage on this page is kind of going to be focused on this movie for a little while, let me tell you, because I've just gone through the Final Destination films again and just recalled my love. Not recalled. I've reestablished my love for this series, my undying love for Final Destination. And my God, I'm excited for this new one a ton. So hopefully we get a brand new trailer to talk about sometime soon, more than just a clip. Warner Bros., that's all they decided to throw at us recently. But we'll get a full trailer sometime soon, I'm sure, to talk about. And I'm sure we'll dissect it on one of these bad boy streams. We still got 7 more to go until the movie comes out as well. And also, I have a really fun theory video. My leading theory on what I believe is going to happen in Final Destination Bloodlines coming out on Monday. So check that out when it drops. But anyways, we have a few other things to talk about, and then we're getting into the streams. I already see your wonderful chats coming in, and we're going to talk about those in a second. Is the trailer dropping this weekend? Jake S., you have a sick name, by the way. It's like Jake's, so it's like there's a lot of us. Is it dropping this weekend? I sure hope it is. That would be sick. Would love to cover that sometime soon. But before we talk about that, there is a we could be doing a giveaway tonight if I get 10 teal super chats. Your boy is giving away digital codes for Smile and Smile 2. Ladies and gentlemen, one of you could be going home tonight with an entire horror franchise in your digital library. Now, I personally prefer physical media, but I loved giving away these digital codes. It's really fun. We throw them out there in the chats. Someone quickly enters them into Paramount Plus's website or whatever. What is it again? Hang on. Because I want to get, in case you're really curious, you're really itching for this. It is at, go to ParamountMovies.com to redeem this code. You click redeem code and enter the redemption code that maybe I'll throw out in the chat at some point tonight. So maybe you'll win, maybe you won't. That's life. That's how life works. So it could be fun. Maybe we'll get those 10 super chats. Maybe we'll give them away. Maybe I'll just give them to my members this next Wednesday, but we'll see. Anyways, let's say hi to some wonderful fellas joining us tonight. We got Paula Fitzhenry, Red Hood Venom, RJ Skarenki, a member. Hello, all 3 of you. You guys are fantastic. RJ saying it's Friday night. Let's talk some horror. Damn right. Let's talk some Final Destination, too. I'm excited to get into this. Erica is here with us, one of our beloved mods, saying, hey, what's up, what's up? Antonis, also a member, saying, hey, Jake, what up, bro? What up, Antonis? How are you? Welcome in. Billy Boy, what's up, Jake? How it doing? Oh, it's doing all right, but Bubble Butt Billy, how you doing? Perry Moberg, also a member, loving the face hugger icon. What's up? What's up? How's it going, Perry? Perry's been here with us for a while, as well as a lot of our other beloved members. Erica's throwing a $5 super chat out there, getting this bad boy kicked off here. Saying giveaway night, make sure to secure your spot in the giveaway. If Jake gets 10 teal super chats, he will do a giveaway. Let's go. And the entire Smile franchise thus far could be yours tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Someone's going home with it if we get 9 more of them bad boys. So let's run it. Very exciting stuff. Erica, thank you for kicking that off. I greatly appreciate you a ton. Now, we also have some other awesome people. Beloved people. I love using that word. Love is a great word to repeat a lot. The doctor is in. What's up, doctor? What is that profile picture? That is funky. I like it. It looks like a blue, some kind of blue character. I can't see it too well because unfortunately my screen is really small. Here we go. I made it a little bigger. It looks like some kind of blue thing. I like blue things though. So what's up, the doctor? How are you? Are you a real doctor? Let us know in the chat. I'm curious. John Best, the best John, is saying, hey, everyone, hope all is well with you all. Same to you, John. You're always the best. Jake S., love the name again. I can't say it enough. Samantha Robinson is saying, rest in peace, Tony Todd. Yes, this is going to be a posthumous release for Tony Todd here in Bloodlines, which I got to admit, as sad as I am about Tony passing, I'm really excited to see his performance here in Bloodlines. I can't wait to see what it's all about. More Tony Todd performances, all of them that are in existence. I want to see them all. So I'm really excited to see him in this, and it really does bum me out that we've lost the Candyman recently. Let me tell you. But hopefully we'll be able to honor him here in just a little under, what is it, like less than 2 months. May 16th, man. That's when we're getting this one. I can't wait. Eric Kasloff is also joining us. What's up, Eric? How's it going, man? Dude, did you get the screeners? Yes. Eric, I keep meaning to message you. It's been an insane week. But, dude, I appreciate you a ton. Eric sent me like 3-4 screeners. I can't even keep up with them. I'm like, this is awesome. Thank you, Eric. I really appreciate that. I'm going to get to those movies this weekend, I believe, and I'm really excited to watch them. So thank you, Eric. You're too kind. You're far too kind. Thanks for sending those my way. We also have Dean Renner. What's up, Dean? How's it going? Who's also throwing in a little $5. We're at 2 out of 10, baby. I love to see it. Giveaway, we say. Yes. I recently bought Smile 2. I got the steelbook of it, and it has those little digital codes in them, and I'm like, I don't need these, but maybe someone out there wants it, because I think it's really cool when more people are able to watch horror films, personally. And if you were unable to go to the theaters, which I know some people in the chat have said, that's what's really nice about the digital codes, right? It's like, it's kind of physical media, but also kind of not. It's literally not, but it comes from physical media, so that I think is pretty cool. So yes, we're giving those bad boys away, hopefully tonight. We'll see, but we're 20% of the way there. Who knows? Anything can happen, Dean. I love it. Thank you for being a member, my friend. Thanks for the $5. We also got Scott Royston in the chat, a fellow member. Hello, hello. What is up? How are you, Scott? How is your night going? And what's your favorite food? I want to know. King Matthew III, my liege, is saying, what's up, Jake? How are you doing? I'm finally able to join the streams again since my physical therapy went well for my surgery, and I'm fully recovered now. Well, that's really good to hear, my friend. I hope everything is going all right with you. I know you had said something about a death in your family recently. My condolences. Hope you're doing better, my friend. All things moving forward in a positive direction, I hope. Isaac is also with us, throwing a little $2 out there. Thank you for the support of the page. Saying Scream 7 is being pushed to 9/19/25, almost told. I'm hearing that this is a big rumor that the film might get an earlier release date to this fall. And here's my thing. I'm actually really glad you brought this up, Isaac, because I wanted to talk about this a bit tonight. I made a joke. I made a joke that I paid for recently, which unfortunately most comedy you do have to pay for it a little bit nowadays, which sucks. I made a joke because they announced the release date for the new Cat in the Hat film is also going to be the same day as Scream 7 as it is now. And I made a joke. I'm like, oh no, Scream 7's getting some competition. And I got one of the angriest DMs from someone who used to watch the page. And I genuinely couldn't believe it. Like I was laughing so hard. I'm like, this is very clearly a joke, my friend. I don't believe Scream 7 is going to have any competition with a children's movie. Two very different groups of people are going to see these. If we're talking about an R-rated slasher and likely a G-rated Bill Hader movie, flabbergasted by the response to that's supposed to be a joke of a tweet. But I don't think it's going to be pushed for that reason. Maybe it gets pushed like to an earlier date just because the filming did get on track and wasn't as fucked up as a lot of us thought it was going to be. I mean, there was some fucked up shit with what was going on with Scream 7's production, but thankfully they they got it on track eventually, and we started shooting, and now everything's wrapped. It was very uncertain for a little while there, which is why I think we had the later release date just in case. I mean, remember, this is a film that was supposed to shoot in September of last year. That's when we were supposed to start production on this one. It did not start until the top of January now. So I think they put that later release date because they weren't even sure when production was going to begin. There was clearly a lot of things going on that was like, I don't know what's happening here. The Joel McHale casting, I think, is one of the most obvious examples. That clearly was not their first choice based on things we've heard from Patrick Dempsey. So my thoughts are it could be getting pushed because things have gotten back on track in ways that even the production didn't think was going to happen. So that makes me very happy. If it does get, reeled back to an earlier date, that just tells me that Scream 7 has just gotten things back on track. We're on schedule. In fact, we're ahead of schedule now, which is something I think a lot of us didn't think we'd be saying about Scream 7, but this is exciting. This is exciting news if that date does end up changing. So hopefully it does. I'd love to see it if that's the amount of time that they're allotted and that's all they need to make this movie as good as it is. Then I say hell yes is what I say. I would love a good fall release. especially for a Scream film that supposedly does take place in the fall based on all those leafy pictures that we got from behind the scenes. So that would be awesome. Isaac, thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. And also know that that release date is not going to change because they're worried about competition with a children's movie. I promise you that. I promise you that, my friends. Jake S is saying, so glad we get to see Tony Todd. Haha. Yes. Sick name, by the way. Thank you, Jake S. I appreciate that. Same to you. Ditto. TRS is saying, hey, Jake and Chad. Hope everyone is doing well. Same to you, TRS. How are you? I like your Joker profile. Scott Royston saw Snow White, not as bad as I thought it would be, other than the ending. Everything else pretty much kept true to the 1937 cartoon. Interesting. You know, that's funny, Scott. I have not seen the film, but I've heard a lot of people say that it's like it's a different take and it's not as good. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you liked it. That makes me very happy. I always love when people enjoy new movies, no matter what it is. Austin Allman is a new member, I think. What's up, Austin? How are you? Welcome to the fold. Thanks for being a member. What's your favorite Final Destination death? Dude, that is such a tough question because so many of them are fantastic. A personal favorite, maybe not like the best, maybe not like the best one out there, but just one that scared me when I was a kid is the roller coaster death at the beginning of 3. I come from Ohio. This is like America's roller coaster is here, called Cedar Point. I was terrified of roller coasters at a young age. When I would see this trailer come up, I would shit my britches. I would be like, that is terrifying. Why would anyone get on those death traps, is what I thought to myself when they were marketing Final Destination 3. That trailer played all the time, and when it would, I would run out of the living room. I'd be like, bolt for the kitchen. I'm like, I'm not watching that. It can't hurt me in the kitchen. So that one has a special place in my heart because it scared me at a young age. I love Final Destination 3. It's probably the most underrated sequel. I get the hate that it gets. I do, but I still have a lot of fun with that one. And I think you're also talking about is the tanning bed one, is that in 3? I want to say that was 3. I just went through all of them again, so they're kind of the last like 3 that I watched, like 3, 4, and 5 are kind of a blur. They all kind of just blended together in my head. The tanning bed one, I'm pretty sure that was 3, and the gymnast is 5, I believe. Oh, great choices, Austin. Oh my God, those are good. The tanning bed one. It's creative and it's over the top. It's crazy. But I think one of the best things that just solidifies that as one of the best deaths in the entire franchise is the hard cut from our characters burning alive in tanning beds to side-by-side match frame of their coffins being lowered into the ground. And I mean, listen, say what you want about the Final Destination sequels and their kind of shitty CGI, but that is fucking masterful filmmaking. I don't give a shit. That's awesome. It hits every time I watch it. I love it. Love it, Austin. Thank you for being a member. Great choices there. The gymnast one is also upsetting. It kind of comes out of nowhere. And you just see that chick like snap her entire back. It's horrifying. I love it. Cillian McDonough says Terrifier. Just wants Terrifier in the chat. Wants that to be represented here. I can't argue with any sort of Art the Clown representation, my friend. Can't argue with that. Stella G saying happy Friday evening, everybody. Same to you, Stella. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Thanks for being a member too. You're awesome. Who else is with us tonight? We got Villain Killin' Dylan VKD saying now the most brutal deaths are the tanning bed one or the guy getting turned inside out by the pool drain. You know what? That one's underrated. I actually like that one a lot. I think the idea of drowning in a pool surrounded by people is just kind of a terrifying thing. So even psychologically, maybe it comes from the worst movie in the franchise. I don't think that's that hot of a take to say that the Final Destination is the worst one. Maybe you disagree though, and I want to hear it if you guys disagree, which I love. The disagreement always makes for some really interesting conversation. But I think that is an underrated kill in that film, and maybe it's the cream of the crop in a poop sandwich, but my God, it is a fun one. I like Final Destination kills are really interesting when they have multiple angles like that, and that is absolutely one. I totally agree. I have a much bigger respect for the original film, which I used to shit on a lot more because I feel like it's not as, I don't want to say it's not as organized. I just feel like it's not as focused as some of the other sequels. It's kind of like Saw, like the first Saw in that sense, where like I think the first Saw, like, objectively is probably the best one, right? But I like how the sequels focus on the traps a little more. That's what makes the sequels so fun. The first movie doesn't really have that. It's much more about the story and the twist at hand. So that's kind of my that's how I feel about the first Final Destination. It's like it's much more about the story, less about the over the top Rube Goldberg traps. Or not traps, but the Rube Goldberg style machine kills, essentially, where all these things are falling over each other and eventually leads to a person's untimely and grisly murder. So I think that's becomes a focus, especially much more in the sequel. But it's still apparent in the first one, right? But it's just different. It's almost like death is like the very first kill of Final Destination, for instance, after Flight 180 explodes, of course, but it's like he's cleaning up his mess. You know what I mean? Like the water spills all over the floor and then it's like gets sucked right back up. You're like, what? Why would Death have to do that? It's not like he's leaving a fingerprint. You know, it's not like the cops are going to come up to his door and be like, come out, Death. We know it was you. Death and people. It's like, of course it was Death. But yeah, I think that the sequel figures out the minutia, the flow and feel, the ebb and flow, one might say, of the series a little more, even though I think the first one I still love, though. The characters in the first one really make that one, which I love. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Something with a P is saying, any news about the Conjuring 4? I know they wrapped filming a little while ago. It was fairly recent. And that one comes out, I believe, this September, as most Conjuring movies do. It's from what I know, it's supposed to wrap up the movie series, and then I guess we're getting a TV series. So if you're like, I need more Conjuring, trust me, it's coming. it's coming, all right. We got some more Conjuring on the way. If you were wondering, yes, I am drinking out of a McDonald's Shrek glass. The fine china has been brought out this evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Shrek the Third glass, too. Maybe the worst Shrek movie. But anyways, DRMS Productions saying, hey, Jake, how's it going? I'm fantastic. How are you? I hope you're swell, my friend. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Kyle Gordon is saying, I think the fifth movie's ending is insane, where it comes back to the original. Spoilers. The plane explosion. Wow, I was so shocked. It is so good, though. Ooh, Final Destination 5. For the longest time, I'm like, that might be my favorite one. Like, in terms of story, it's just done so well. That is such a tragic ending, man. It's a tragic ending that brings everything full circle. And there's only like a few little clues that it's before the events of the original. There's only a couple little things here and there that tells me that it takes place when it does. And I don't know. I think that's a really good twist. First time I saw it, it floored me. I was like, that's insane. What do you mean? What do you mean? What is going on here? I love that twist, though, Kyle. I couldn't agree more. Excellent ending. Definitely my favorite ending to a Final Destination film. But I'm kind of on the fence of if 5 is still my favorite or not, because 1 and 2 are so fucking good. Oh, Scott Royston is saying, what was your personal take on Final Destination Bloodlines, Jake? Well, I have a big video coming out on it on Monday, which, again, definitely check that one out. I'm not kidding. I spent 2 days researching it this week. If you're wondering, Jake, where's all the videos? You just put up a Saw video, you lazy fuck? If you're saying that, I understand. But hang on. I promise everything will be worth it. We got a Texas Chainsaw video going up tomorrow. We have a new Texas Chainsaw movie in the works. What? I know. We're talking about it tomorrow. Patience. We'll talk about it tonight, too. I don't care. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre video going up tomorrow. Monday, big ol' nasty theory video on Final Destination Bloodlines. Can't wait for this one. And then Patreon members at the Art the Clown tier are eating good this weekend because we have 2 reviews. Not 1, but 2 going up. I missed Novocaine last week, so it's going up this weekend. Novocaine review and a review of Ash going up for Art the Clown patrons this weekend. So definitely check that out. Really excited for to see both of these movies, which I already have tickets for this weekend, baby. We're making it happen. We're busting it out. We're busting some nuts this weekend. No, we're not. That's gross. Villain Killin' Dylan is putting his ranking of the series from worst to best. So at the bottom, number 5 is 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 5. I can't disagree. That top 3 rocks, man. That top 3 rocks. I can't argue with that. 2, 1, and 5, I think are definitely my top 3 as well. I don't even know how I'd organize them. I love all 3 of them for totally different reasons. I think they're all excellent. So I can't disagree with that ranking. That's excellent right there. And 4 is at the bottom, which is very important. Listen, I will not stop with these countdown streams until I find someone whose favorite Final Destination film is the Final Destination. Does anyone exist out there where that's your favorite? If so, I want to hear it. I want to hear the argument, damn it. I want to hear it. So there's somebody. I know there's somebody out there that's their favorite Final Destination film. I want to hear from them. We're going to find them, ladies and gentlemen. We have 7 more of these streams to go. It's going to happen. We're hunting them down. Isaac Halverson is with us, throwing out the GullGotha symbol. Love it. Very, very much so. Love that a ton. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you for throwing out my goofy little bone parrot or whatever he is. I guess he's a seagull. Gully is a little seagull. Austin Allman is saying, I don't think the dude is dead in the Bloodlines trailer. Ooh, gasp. Audible gasp. Saying, I think he survived the fire somehow and died later. So I'm actually hearing rumor that he does survive the fire, runs out like a back door or something, and then like something else happens. Again, to not make it too obvious as to what's going to happen just from the trailer alone. I kind of like that. I kind of like if that would be the route that they take with it, even though they do set up a very gnarly kill in that little teaser trailer we got a little while back. I actually hope that's the case. That would be fun. That would be fun to not know everything, even about the one sequence we've seen so far. Okay, Final Destination. So far, they're having an excellent marketing campaign. Can I just say that? I think we all can agree. I definitely don't feel like I know everything that's going to happen in this movie yet, which very important. Again, very important to a new horror film that we go in a little blind. We got to know some things, admittedly, but there's a balance you got to strike that most movies do not with their marketing campaign. I mean, pretty much every Blumhouse movie that has come out in the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, I think I've known more things that I would have liked about most of those films going into them. Antonis is saying, what horror movie had a bad trailer marketing in your opinion? Where do I start? So maybe the most egregious one, though, because I think if I just start shitting on movies, that's not going to be fun. But I'll shit on one movie. The Pet Sematary remake trailer, I think, is atrocious. Admittedly, not as awful of a film as I thought it was going to be. I mean, there's worse remakes, I guess is my point. I'm not calling it a masterpiece, but that 2019 Pet Sematary remake trailer spoiled the big thing about it that's different. Now, if you haven't seen the film, it's 6 years old. I feel like I could talk about this one openly. Instead of the little boy who is hit by the truck, it's a little girl this time around. So it's a different character, essentially. They kind of switch up the story a bit, and the ending is also different, but we won't talk about that. I really like the changes that they made to the remake, but they spoiled it in the trailer. Why? I don't know why you would do that. It's one of the biggest things that makes that film different from the original, and once again, makes the remake stand on its own. Love it or hate it. I'm personally someone who leans towards not loving it so much, but it does stand on its own. There's a reason for that one to exist and tell the story differently. I'll give it that. Again, is it excellent? No. The other thing that happens in the trailer is that we have the line delivery of not dead is better, but it's dead is better. Listen, a lot of you guys said the cringiest moment in a trailer ever was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, where the guy's like, do anything and you're canceled, bro. Everyone's like, that's the worst trailer moment ever. I disagree. Dead is better is the worst. That's the worst. That gives me the ick. I want to throw up every time I hear it. Dead is better. Damn it. Damn it, Antonis. Dead is better. I love the original, though. Ugh, one of my favorites. It's so good. Pretty Kitty is hanging out with us, too. What's up? How are you? I used to vacation in Ocean City, and they have an amusement park on the boardwalk. It had a wooden roller coaster that was bumpy as hell. Did that make you terrified of Final Destination 3? I need answers. I need to know more. Ty Lee is also with us, saying Final Destination 1 and 4 are probably my least favorites. I don't love 3 either. I heard good test screenings for The Conjuring, however. Well, that's good. We need another good Conjuring movie, man. I feel like we haven't had like a real big standout one in a while. I don't want to I haven't hated every Conjuring movie we've gotten. Admittedly, I've had some fun with a few of them. I think Annabelle Comes Home is dumb fun. I don't think it's a good movie, but it's I had a good time with it at the very least. I mean, all the different monsters and shit running around. I'm like, okay, this is fun. It's stupid, but it's fun. The last like genuinely good one I think was Annabelle Creation. That was awesome. I mean, Annabelle Creation rocks. Great actors, great actresses, great performances, I should say. We've already praised the performers there. But hopefully this new one can be a good send-off for the series. Final Destination 1, I honestly, the reason I didn't love it is because I did feel like it was all over the place. But again, watching it again recently, I'm like, this is so good. Like, I'm so excited to do a big review video on this one next week, because I definitely feel like some opinions have changed over time on that film. Spending a little more time with something, I feel like you start to either wrinkle out, iron out the wrinkles essentially, or maybe some things just bug you more. That's at least my experience with a lot of these a lot of movies that I tend to rewatch multiple times. Lawrence is with us saying it's interesting the Monkey came out in the same year as a new Final Destination film. Yeah. And that's going to be a fun thing to compare, right? Which movie are we going to like better, The Monkey or Final Destination 6? I can't wait to finally have an answer to that here in just a couple of months. I really want to bring the Versus series back for these two movies, because I think they would be great to compare. I mean, they're essentially the same movie, just slightly different in terms of tone and source material too. So I might do some sort of Versus video comparing both of those films. Which film did the concept better of you're gonna die in some outlandish way? I guess we'll know soon. Dean Renner is saying TCM Legacy right? ? I wonder if they changed the premise of the story. So, Dean, this sounds like a different film than what you're talking about. Now, what Dean is talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is a rumor that they were going to do a sequel to the Netflix movie, where one of the many settings was it was going to show Leatherface in the suburbs, which honestly is pretty interesting. I don't know if that would work or not, but it did fascinate me. It sounded like something ambitious. I don't know if this is that or not, Dean. It seems like whatever was going on there kind of fizzled out. This seems like something else, because it comes from our friends who made The Strange Darling. It's just Strange Darling that came out last year. Loved that film a ton. I hope if you guys saw it, it's so good, and it is fairly recent, so I don't want to spoil it, but it is a movie that has constant twists and turns, and I think a lot of them work. I really enjoyed that film a ton. If you have not seen it, I could totally see the writer-director of that one potentially doing a TCM movie. So they're interested in doing that, and it gets even better. Like, if you're already a Strange Darling fan and you're like, that sounds sick, like a match made in heaven, Glenn Powell, like one of the hottest actors, both in terms of star power and just attractiveness, is interested in reading the script, maybe even starring in it. Could you see Glenn Powell being one of the family members in a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie? I mean, I'd lose my fucking mind, dude. That sounds like a match made in heaven. Let's go. So I don't know what this new TCM is, but with all the creatives and just people kind of floating around this potential project, it has me very excited. I'm in. Like, I'm already in. Let's go. This cast already sounds good. I love JT Molnar. Run it, dude. I really hope this happens. Soretti, what's up, Soretti? Saying one of the clues that FD5 was a prequel was when Agent Block asked Peter if Sam had extremist tendencies instead of terrorist behaviors, which was a more common term post 9/11, but might be a nitpick. No, I think you're totally right. One of the only clues that I can think of is I can't remember if it's a receipt or like some sort of document that shows the date, and it's basically right before the events of the original flick, and it's such a little thing. I mean, it's such a small little thing, and it's like, no way. And also our characters are, dressed and behave like that time period as well in terms of culture. I think they're using flip phones or pagers, maybe. I can't remember what it was, but they don't have cell phones is the point. They're not walking around with touchscreen smartphones, and that just so many great little details, man. Final Destination 5, so good. Pedrin, I can't pronounce that name. Hello, my friend. I love the Terrifier 3 movie. I do too. I love Terrifier 3. That was so good. We need some Terrifier news, man. Stat. Mr. Rick, I'm so sorry I'm just getting to this, who's saying that They couldn't stay long. I'm sorry I missed this. I was trying to say hi to everybody. I love saying hi to everybody. Mr. Rick has been a member for 20 months, though, at the Art the Clown tier. Thank you, Mr. Rick. Saying, sorry, can't stay long. I'll believe it when I see it with the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Totally fair. Hopefully they do it a little better, and I'm a little excited about Bloodlines. What a great page you have. You're too kind, Mr. Rick. You're so sweet. And you even have this bad boy as your profile picture. Little red right hand. Nice. Mr. Rick, I appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Being a member of this page is the best way to support it, and you're too kind. Thank you for the kind words. Thanks for stopping by the stream. I hope you have a great night and a great weekend. We're finally there, baby. It's the weekend. I love it. Riddlemaster66 is saying it's me. Give me a riddle, Riddlemaster. I want to solve a riddle on stream tonight. Throw something at me. Austin Allman is saying there's not enough blood in the tattoo scene. That's why I think he lives. Okay. See, I'm into that. I do like see characters burning alive though is kind of a staple of this series. So I mean, I wouldn't mind that either. That's pretty awful. That's a pretty awful way to go. That does not involve a ton of blood spraying everywhere. So I mean, I'm personally not against that either. I think characters getting burned alive or like cooked alive, like think like Saw 3D or Thanksgiving, like that is so upsetting to me. That's got to be the one of the worst ways to go. I think that's just. It sounds excruciating to me. Scott saying, oh, you're good, Jake. I was just wondering what you thought of it. Oh, I'm excited for it. Let me tell you. I'll give you some. I don't want to go into my full theory because I did a lot of research this week. Did you guys know? You know what? No, I'm not gonna say that. We're gonna save that for the video. It's a fun. Trust me, this is a fun little tidbit. But I'm really excited for Final Destination Bloodlines, especially with the more I read about it, the more it gets me hyped up. I really think it's gonna be. I really think it's gonna be something of quality. And again, the way that they're marketing it, man. Whenever they market a movie really well like this. It tells me that there's going to be some quality behind it. I mean, I had some issues with movies that had very strong marketing campaigns last year. You guys know I wasn't particularly fond of Long Legs, but there's still a lot to. I mean, it's not a terrible movie. There's some awesome shit going on in Long Legs that I've really come to respect and love, and I think it deserved a badass marketing campaign for even just the little great things that it got right. So I'm thinking that Final Destination so far, we haven't gotten a full trailer yet, so maybe I'm speaking too soon, but so far I'm very invested. I love the way that they're marketing it. That first teaser trailer did something really special, not just throwing 1,000 different things in there to, get people to come check out the movie. It's like, here's what you guys want. You guys want to see someone get into a crazy, elaborate death in some awful way. We're going to tease that, and that's it. That's all we need to market our movie. That's big dick energy, man. That's what that is. So Final Destination so far, it's got a bulge in its pants, and I'm excited to see that thing unveiled on May 16th, let me tell you. Jake S is saying the first one is my fave. It has the dark X-Files tone to it. I agree. It definitely does have a different tone than the rest of the movies too, which flavors it differently. The clues and signs are more interesting in the first, I think. Yeah, I think, the story of the first one I like better. I think the kills are maybe not as great as some of the sequels. They're not bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I just think they improve as the sequels go along. Again, very similar to Saw in that sense, where the original film is much more about like just this crazy idea for a killer and who is it, trying to figure out who this person is the whole time. And it's the fucking guy in the room, it's the dead body in the room. What? That's a crazy twist. The original Final Destination feels kind of in a same way similar to that. It's a great comparison piece, I think, because the original Final Destination, I feel like is just going for something else, where the sequels boil it down more to the things that are a little more pulpy and a little more attractive about the franchise. It definitely does get a little formulaic at a point, but it's a formula that I think people really have come to enjoy, and I could totally see this new one being a big hit because, again, it's a story that I don't mind going down more than once. And even with something I found out this week is that there are more Final Destination stories than we even know about as of right now, and they also follow a very similar formula, and that's okay, I think. Some franchises can do that and get away with it. Not all of them, though. Stella G is saying the best part of the Pet Sematary remake is Starcrawler's version of the Ramones Pet Sematary song. Ooh, I don't think I even remember that, Stella. Shit, I got to put that on. That's sick. I also, the one other thing I'll give to the Pet Sematary remake is I think that they do the subplot with, is it the sister character. I think they do that subplot really well. Is it the sister, or is it the wife's mom? I can't remember. I think they do. It's a weird subplot in the book that honestly I think is the weakest part of Pet Sematary. I haven't seen that movie in so long. I'm like failing to remember it. But that whole part I remember was kind of weak in the original movie and also the book too. But I think they make it really scary in the remake, which is something I give them props for. I'm like, I don't know if this necessarily works for me entirely, but they made something special out of it in the remake. So I do have a lot of good things to say about that one, even though I'm definitely not loving everything going on there. Sully Streams is saying, Jake, what's your favorite Final Destination death of the franchise? That's the popular question of the night. I love it. I might have to make like a top 5. What are my favorite kills of the whole series? You know what? We were talking about the roller coaster earlier. I think the roller coaster scared me the most as a kid, so I think that's why it sticks out to me. I also really like the laser one in part 5, where the laser in the eye. That's another one that kind of hits on a personal level. I was really considering LASIK for a very long time. And I'm digging the glasses look now. I actually don't hate it now, but for a long time I was thinking about it. I think I saw Final Destination 5 like maybe 4 or 5 years after it came out. I saw that movie and I'm like, nope, not doing it. Not doing LASIK anymore. The one shot where it's like the laser's cutting into her eye and she's trying to move and you can see where it's cutting into her, like her pupil and iris and shit. It's like, I can't do that. Nope, dude, that is awful. I love that death so much. I think that one is, it's excellent. I really like the ones that hit on like real superstition and fears too, because like if you're going in to do LASIK, that's literally something that's going through your head, and they put that to the screen. That is one that I feel like it almost hits on like the same energy as like an urban legend movie in that sense, where it's like this is something that people definitely have anxiety about. and we're putting that to screen. Again, it's just another flavor in the deaths that make them more intense, which I love. So I think the best Final Destination kills hit on that, on real life anxieties about shit that could happen. Highway accidents, planes going down and shit. Like it's like, oh, is that gonna happen to me? And then it does happen to the characters. That's what makes it so scary. So I love it. Hello, how are you? Check my phone. What's going on? Oh, you scared me. I'm like, what? Your food is currently on the way. It said 20 minutes ago. Did you hear anything at the door? I was in the shower. You might want to go downstairs and check the door. Right there, and he got caught up here. Okay. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I ordered my girlfriend food and it has not come yet. So we're getting scared. We want to make sure the delivery driver didn't get too hungry on the way over here. So I feel like that's important. What else is going on? Pretty Kitty is confirming, yes, terrifying to go on a roller coaster after that one. After watching a Final Destination roller coaster crash to the ground, I was forever changed. I feel that, though. You've seen that, right? The roller coaster? I've never seen a single Final Destination. Okay, but wait, pause. Before you go and get your food.
Wasn't it them all upside down and then just wham?
Yeah, like the coaster derails. You've definitely seen that in like a trailer or something, right? Because like when I was a kid, like I never saw that movie until I was like way older, but that trailer would play all the time when we were young.
Like in real life, like people were.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes. But did you ever see that trailer on TV when you were growing up? I was just telling everybody live. I'm like, that would scare me so much that I would run into the kitchen where it couldn't hurt me.
I was poor. I didn't have cable.
Oh.
We rented movies.
Well, I'm just hitting on a soft spot now with her because she's like, I rented movies. I didn't watch cable. I'm like, okay. Damn, brutal out here. Brutal. Let's catch up in the chat. How are we doing? How are we doing, everybody? 40 minutes into the stream. We're still hitting on some Final Destination lore if you're just joining us. Love it. Which Final Destination character do you think should have lived? I think Erin got robbed with the nail gun. I loved her. That is brutal. So what is it? It's Kimberly and Thomas in the sequel, I believe, are our only known survivors, even though technically you can kind of argue if this is canon or not canon, is that in the DVD extras of Final Destination 3, technically these characters are killed off on a newspaper article, which again, I did my research before this stream. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they get killed technically. You can I believe you can choose for this to be canon or not, because there's rumor that AJ Cook may be coming back for Final Destination Bloodlines, but we have no confirmation of that at this time. So, but I guess in the DVD extras for Final Destination 3, there's a newspaper article that details that 5 years after the events of the sequel, Kimberly and Thomas coincidentally met up at a hardware store where a car crashed into the front of the store. They thought it was happening again. They run out the back, and Kimberly's coat gets caught on a wood chipper, which sucks both her and Thomas into it, killing our only known survivors of Final Destination so far. Now, again, I don't think that's canon. I think it's just a fun little detail that they added into the extras of Final Destination 3. I'm also hearing rumor that AJ Cook potentially was on set for Bloodlines right after she got done filming the new season of Criminal Minds. So again, that's a rumor. I can't confirm that here. But it does have me excited. I would love to see some other characters come back from the past. I think Final Destination Bloodlines, hence the subtitle, is definitely going to be hitting on how all of these things are connected. And you guys already know my opinion on that if you've watched this channel for more than a couple of days, because I bitch about it on every stream, how I don't like how horror movies do that. But Final Destination, I think, has a good reason to do so. And we'll talk about that in Monday's video. But what's another Final Destination character that you think should have lived? Definitely Devon Sawa from the original Alex Browning. I think Alex Browning gets the shit end of the stick the entire movie, and then he's dead. And then he kind of dies like off screen, which is like, what? That's whack. I would love to see more Devon Sawa in this franchise, personally. I think that would be cool. I think, yeah, and just getting back to the character himself, something I guess I've really come to appreciate a lot more about the original Final Destination is how he's like, my guy's just getting, every single character is like, you did this. I don't know how, but you did this, you know? And it's like, what? No, he didn't. No, he did not. Call it superstition, call it a bad feeling, if not a premonition, but I don't know. I think it sucks that it is interesting how everybody has a different reaction to Alex, but most people are like, get the hell away from me, you weirdo. How did you know that was going to happen? So I think Alex got the shit end of the stick. We need more love from Alex. Would love to see him get a little redemption. Jake, you should do a kill ranking of the Final Destination franchise. Ooh, rank every single kill? That's crazy, Samantha. I love it. Maybe I'll get on that. Have you ever read any of the Final Destination novels and comics? That's what we're talking about on Monday, my friend. There are okay, I did not know this until this past week. There are a ton of Final Destination novels and comics. Did you know this? There are not just 5 movies. There's I'm exaggerating here, but there's 12 books and comics of the Final Destination series, and some of them more interesting than the movies, in my humble opinion. In terms of premise, there's one that takes place in the 1800s that tomorrow's video, or 2 days from now, 3 days from now, is that Monday? Whatever Monday is, I don't fucking know. How do days of the week work? I have an entire 2 liter of root beer to myself, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be bad this weekend. It is 3 days. Okay, thank you. Drink water, kids. That's healthier for you. But anyways, really some really good books and things we have to discuss in there that happens. A lot of lore that gets defined in the Final Destination books. What?
School Spirits is based on comic books. You know that, right?
School Spirits, a show that I'm so into, based on comic books. It actually says that before the show starts. It's based on the graphic novel. I need to make a School Spirits video at some point. I have 1,000 theories bouncing around my brain. Come here. Get in the stream. Give us your School Spirits theory right now.
No,
spoilers and all.
You fucked up.
I fucked up?
On the other stream the other day?
Yeah, I fucked up.
You said Rhonda in the first season didn't seem like they knew what they wanted to do with her.
Yeah.
It's based on comic books. They knew what they wanted to do with her.
Okay, the comic books didn't know what they wanted to do with her. Fight me, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this is a Final Destination stream. Are you getting your wetness on me? The fuck you the heck you do?
Stick it in your ear.
I swear to God. Swear to God. Don't touch me. If you guys have not seen School Spirits on Paramount Plus, I cannot stress enough how fun this show is. I went into it thinking I was going to hate it. I loved it. But we'll talk about that in a video coming up very soon here. Austin Allman is also saying bring back Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Technically, we never saw a death for her, man. It cuts to black before anything happens. So she could be a survivor. She could be. That's a potential right there. Cody is joining us as well. What's up, Cody? Saying, what's up, Jake and chat? Sorry I'm late. Had a migraine earlier. That's no good. I'm glad he took a nap, though. Hope they talk about the OGs, Alex and his friends in Bloodlines. I think they will. I think they will. We'll get into that soon here, though. I feel like they're going to try to find a way to make all this connected based on some things I've already heard about the film and things we know about that have happened in the books. Mr. Rick is saying that was Hellraiser. The trailer will come out and scale the hell out of it. What are we talking about? Hellraiser? Hang on. I can't pass an opportunity to talk about Hellraiser now. What's happening with Hellraiser? If there's more Hellraiser coming out, I want it. I need it in my life. I want to inject more Pinhead into my veins. Crow with the K? Is that what I'm saying here? Crow, what's up? How's it going? I can't wait to see Final Destination 6. Me too, my friend. I think it's going to be fun. FD6, bring it on. This might start a new trilogy, too, in the series. I'm curious what you guys think about that. Seems like every new franchise continuation these days is trying to, start a whole new little trilogy, brand new story in already existing franchises. I think there's some franchises where it's like, I don't need that. Final Destination, however, I think is one that could go on forever. Lots of really good stuff here. A formula that I feel like people and fans will want to go through many, many, many times with varying results. So I'm into it. If they want to make 3 more, sure. To me, like Final Destination, Saw, I feel like you can just keep making these movies. Bring it on. I just got an email, and I'm really hoping that it's the email that I'm looking for. It is not, but that's okay. No, that's the email I'm talking about. I still have gotten nothing. Crazy.
They're having trouble. Crazy
out here. Who else is talking? We got Erica saying I'm not gonna repeat that. Billy Boy is saying who here has watched Peak, aka Invincible? It's 2 peak. Nothing is peak or peaked. Damn, it's a lot of peeking. I have not seen all of Invincible, but man, I'll tell you what. From what I have seen of season 1, it's excellent. It's very fun. I'm kind of burnt out on superhero stuff, but I think I'll come back to it at some point in my life. Jake S is saying this is my favorite series of all time. I love it. Jake's not lying. He did his research. The FD lore runs deep. We're gonna get into some fun conversations on Monday. Let me tell you, I read some shit this weekend. I read some shit. And I can't wait to talk about some of the stuff I've uncovered. I think I know exactly what Bloodlines is trying to do, and I kind of love it and I kind of hate it. And I'm kind of excited to talk about my findings. Kimberly Soshi Gray 1990 is saying, what about Kimberly and Thomas Burke? I think they could be coming back for this new movie. Fun fact. I actually could totally see it. So AJ Cook, who of course just filmed Criminal Minds Evolution. Yes, I was hoping you would hear that because I know you love Criminal Minds. Did someone just change their name to Killjoy Jake and shit on the wonderful Erica? That's crazy, dude. See, that's nuts to me.
The Alexandria of Narnia guy.
Oh, you getting blocked? Sorry, dog. You getting blocked. If you shit on you don't shit on Erica. She's too kind. So you impersonate me and make fun of one of my mods. You're getting blocked. Sorry, fella. That's no good. Don't appreciate that. That's some toxic behavior right there. But anyways, what was I talking about? AJ Cook just shot, and she actually directed an episode of this latest season of Criminal Minds, which is really cool. So she was shooting that, and they were filming it around the same time as the new Final Destination when it was shooting last year. And it kind of really makes me think that they could be doing, she could have visited set at some point. I don't think, maybe it's just me, but maybe they didn't need her the entire time they were shooting the new season of Criminal Minds. She could have stopped by and done a little cameo in this new Final Destination. We do already know that we are going to be following new characters based on that plot description, but again, maybe this is like a requel scenario where we do have some characters from the past show up. Think about Clear Rivers in Final Destination 2, the role that she serves there. Maybe Kimberly could come back and do something similar. I mean, we already know that William Bloodworth is back. Tony Todd, rest in peace. And I'm sure he'll be our delivery system for a lot of this lore that we're talking about here. But I think it would be cool. So I keep out the hope. Kimberly's coming back, I think. We'll see. I hope. That'd be fun. What else is happening? I would definitely love to see Wendy come back in 6. Another great character. Definitely would love to see we don't know Wendy's fate. That's the thing. It's a big thing about this character. So I could see it happening. Kimberly has got a theory for you. I believe that Scream and Final Destination are in the same universe. Why do you think that, Kimberly? Hit me with some deets. That's my favorite, deets. Love some details. Are you kidding me right now? we got another Killjoy Jake in the chat. Well, I can just keep blocking you, buddy. So fuck off. Stop fucking with Erica. If you wanna shit on somebody, shit on me. Stop shitting on Erica, you jackass. All right. Anyways. Such an eventful stream. Erica, you're holding strong, and I appreciate you a ton. Thank you. So sorry. People suck balls. Pat and Jester is saying, hey, Jake, what's your favorite Final Destination movie? My favorite is the third one. Ooh. See, Patton, we were saying this earlier, but I'm really hoping that we can find, I want to find someone who has a favorite Final, like every single movie is their favorite. You know, I want to find someone who's like, my favorite Final Destination is 1. My favorite is 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to find them all. I think we've just collected a third one though from Pat and Jester here, so we can cross that one off the list. Let me know down in the comments. Can we get that this stream? I want to know. What's your favorite Final Destination, Madison? I can block people.
We can only make them hidden. Is that blocking them?
I think so. Yeah.
Me and Eric are both like wondering.
I will take care of it if not. I will try not to miss it. Especially if they're anyways. But I think my favorite Final Destination, I'm just going to say, like, I've been on the fence about it, but honestly, after going through them again, I think 2 is probably my favorite. I think Final Destination 2, the sequel, is probably my number 1. But I do think that most of them are fantastic. I honestly, going through them again, the only one I just really did not like was the Final Destination. And even then, there are some fun kills. And with that, I can't complain too much. But 3, I think, it's got some really fun characters and some insane kills. So 3 doesn't get enough love, in my opinion. 3 is a little underrated. 3 does not get the love that it deserves. So. But anyways, Devin Morgan is saying the first 3 Final Destination movies were really good, but the other 2 really fell off, in my opinion. You didn't like 5, Devin? I'm just curious. I'm curious if you did. I like the Final Destination. I get it. The characters are just kind of trash, in my opinion. I'm just not crazy about them personally. I think some of the kills in the Final Destination are solid. Like, that's something I'll give it. There's some cool kills. I think there's some cool settings, especially in that one. I just don't love the story or a lot of the characters in that one. But I again, we're gonna find somebody who likes Final Destination 4 the best. I want to find this person. I really do. We're gonna get everybody. We're gonna get everybody who's a fan of every single one of these movies. We're gonna collect them all, just like we're Ash Ketchum with Pokemon. You ever think about how fucked up that is? He just enslaves animals and we cheer him on. Anyways, NRU Cody is saying second one has the most cool kills. The second one has a brutal ending too, which I love. You know, the second movie is the only film technically where you have survivors like who make it out of the who figure it out and break the curse or whatever. But you also end it with one of the most brutal and upsetting deaths of the entire series. That barbecue death is so fucked, man. So Final Destination 2, that bittersweet ending, like, it just does it for me. I think the ending of 5 is probably my favorite because it's very thought out and methodically set up throughout the entire throughout the entire film. Did I really just spill that? That's so cool. That's man, love this. But two's ending in terms of tone is just it's perfect. Like if you're gonna have a happy ending and have your characters survive, you got to have some kind of fucked up shit happen right at the end there. And two understands that as a film. So that was fun. Really, I love this series so much, man. Cats. Is this just a bunch of cats in like a coat, in like a long overcoat? I've always wanted to see that. Cats, how are you in your overcoat pretending to be a person? 2 is underrated. The Powder Addict is also the goalie in Goon. Goon? Fact check. What is Goon? I know what gooning is, but I won't talk about that here. I'll get kicked off the site. Do you know what Goon is?
I'm not answering you because I got hit with an ad.
You got hit with an ad. I can't control that, by the way. Fun fact.
No,
If
you have full control. I fully believe it.
No, actually, I do not. So if you are getting ads during the stream, the reason you're doing that is because YouTube has just implemented something this week where they're just gonna throw ads on shit now, even if it's ridiculous and hinders the viewing experience, which sucks balls. I can't control that, unfortunately. And I'm seeing a bunch of YouTubers post about it. I'm so sorry. So apologies on that if you just keep getting ads. I'm not going to say what you should do about that, but there are things you can do about that. Anyways, Samantha Robinson is saying, in terms of opening disasters, my favorite Final Destination movie is the 4th one. Yes! Let's go, Samantha. We done did it. Yes? From the back? Goon?
So, a stupid, foolish, or eccentric person, or, from North America, a violent, aggressive person who is hired to intimidate or harm people.
I think this fellow was talking about a movie called Goon, but maybe that too. Goon is a fun word. I really enjoy saying that.
That looks like it's about hockey.
Oh wait, he said goalie. A goalie from Goon.
Minor league Canadian hockey team.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what you're talking about. See, we figured it out.
Sean William Scott.
Oh. Okay, I knew that.
Goon and I heard
You should have just said Sean William Scott.
and I was like,
You know Sean William Scott, American Pie.
I never saw American Pie, so no.
I've only seen the first one, admittedly. So,
I've only seen Chris Evans' Banana Split.
yeah, that's that movie. There you go. Anyways, let's get back to it. What is happening here? I'm trying to find something. We got to get back on track in terms of horror. Samantha, it is so cool that your favorite opening to the franchise is the 4th one. I love you. I love you so much. This is awesome. This is fantastic. And your dad was a race car driver. Is that why you like that? That's why that's your favorite. That's awesome. That's probably terrifying for you as well, but also awesome. That's sick though. Very nice. Did you go to like the racetrack like when you were younger? Like maybe to go see him race? I'm so curious now. I think that's so cool. My grandpa was a race car driver, believe it or not. Like dead serious. I don't think I've even told you about this. Why are you just dangling cheese? What?
What?
No. You know what? She's dangling cheese in front of me, ladies and gentlemen. This is how she gets me to do things. She's just like, cheese? Come on. I'm like, okay. Sick. Here you go.
You're lucky that didn't land in my marinara. It would have splattered everywhere.
She's just eating the calzone behind me. This is crazy. It's crazy out here. Billy Boy is saying gooning is my hobby. That might be an overshare. Cody is saying my favorite kill ever is the dentist scene in Final Destination 2. Ooh, okay. That one doesn't get talked about enough, I don't think. That one's brutal. I still think what's my favorite just scene of the entire film? I really think it's the opening scene of Final Destination 2. I think that's what makes it my favorite. The opening scene is insane. And everybody, everyone who has driven a car, which I feel like is most of us, right? I don't feel like that's too crazy. Everyone who has driven a car has thought about that the wood. The wood?
Is that not what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, the log truck that goes through. It is actually in the stream trailer, which you guys might have saw before the stream, which is sick. But yes, I love it, man. It's so brutal. Lots of blood and guts, and it's like it's real. Like that's real horror. That could happen. Like there's some stretches in the Final Destination series, but like a pile up like that could totally happen, and that is depicting something awful and truly possible, which is terrifying. So I love that opening scene a ton. But we're getting an update from Samantha here who's saying, Jake, he was a figure 8 racer before I was born. Ooh, okay. That's really cool. That's sick as fuck, Samantha. Very nice. Very nice. So I can imagine that scene is both awesome for you and maybe even a little stressful, little anxiety inducing. It hits close to home, one might say. Ella is also with us saying, I wonder where the new one was filmed at. I want to say like Vancouver. I want to say it was Vancouver off the top of my head. I just did research on this too. Where did they film that? I want to say Vancouver. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But I think maybe. Did I see the substance? What's up? I'm so sorry.
Where they filmed it.
I feel like I'm not gonna be able to just look that up. This is a well. Let's do it. Final Destination, Bloodlines, filming locations. Where did they shoot this? Vancouver. Hey, look at that. Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Okay, rock on. I see. Trust.
You love AI?
You got to trust the noggin. You got to trust the noggin. Don't say you love AI. Shush. AI sucks. AI's trash. Unpaid movie critic is saying the King of Rats loves cheese. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of my whole thing, right? I have a lot of cheese so that my rat army will follow me around. So, I don't want to eat. I'm on stream. I don't want to eat cheese. Would you guys watch that? Would you guys just watch me eat cheese? I don't know.
Probably. They want to watch you get high on stream.
They do want to. Yeah, I've heard that before. Not the first time I've heard that, unfortunately. Jesus. Soretti is saying, I hope we get the rotating glass door kill in Bloodlines if they choose to recycle certain elements of the original First Responders script. This was something we heard about when Final Destination Bloodlines was first in the works. This is something we heard about when the movie was first announced, is that it was going to be about first responders and that we were going to get a kill that revolved around a revolving glass door. I don't think that's still gonna, honestly, it would be really cool if that got recycled in there. I don't see the first responders plot line still being attached to this new entry, but it would be fun. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing that be a focal point. Again, it's just a different theme to play around with, which would be cool. But yeah, I don't believe that's where we're going with this one, unfortunately, because I thought that was kind of a cool. It was a cool idea. You know, I'm like, okay, that's kind of sick, but yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem to be the case. What you laughing about back there? Ella is saying, honestly, the kills in the fourth one got me the most as a kid, especially the pool or the car wash scene. But I loved the characters in 1 and 2. The kills in the fourth one. Okay, very nice. I forgot about the car wash scene. Yeah, okay, that's brutal. That's brutal as fuck. The fourth one was when I was like getting into horror movies. So I think that, honestly, I think that might have been the first Final Destination film I saw, which is fucked up. It's only up from there, right? But yeah, I'm loving the love for the fourth one though. See, you watch a movie and you might say that was trash, but everyone out there, there's someone out there that likes that movie, and that's what I think is so interesting about film, is everyone's going to have a different experience with that same thing you just watched. Art is subjective like that. What about the racing scene from, was it the Final Destination or was it the fourth one? That's the opening of the fourth one. Yes. It is brutal. It's got some cool scenes too. I think again, the CGI may not be great there, like most of the sequels, but it's a cool idea. It's a good setting. Unpaid movie critic is saying, hey Jake, what's up, fella? What is your thoughts on the 2 new horror films named Locked In? I have not heard of Locked In. Woman in the Yard, though, I am excited for. I know it's Blumhouse, and I know you might hear that and you're like, ugh, Jake, this looks bad. And I'm like, I hear you. Okay. You're like, listen, maybe it's bad. It could be bad, but it could be good. It comes from a director who I really like, whose name always slips me. But he's the same guy that directed The Shallows, Orphan, and House of Wax from 2005. I really like all 3 of those movies. I feel like all 3 of those are divisive, though. So you may like those, you may not like them. But I personally dig him. I like his style. I also really like the titular woman in the yard. The actress playing her is Okwe Okpok-Wasili. Try saying that 3 times fast. She is awesome. I think she's done some really interesting live performance work that is like super creepy and over the top. And if you look it up, you'll know what I'm talking about. She was crazy underutilized in the film The Exorcist Believer, which, yes, is a total waste of time, but I'll tell you what, her performance there, pretty cool when she actually gets something to do. I think she's a great cast for a horror villain, and I'm really excited to see what she does in this new movie. So I'm strangely excited for this one, which comes out at the end of the month, I believe next week. And I'm going to be seeing it. I'm kind of hyped. Kind of hyped for that one. It could be a good Blumhouse movie, which I feel those don't come too much, which is a shame. Aim Punched is saying cheese mukbang when. I would do a stream of me just eating cheese out of the refrigerator drawer. If I could get paid to do that, I would do it.
No.
Madison disapproves, but I'm all about it. That's what.
I'm not showing up to that stream.
You're not showing up. She won't show up to that stream, but
I'll ban you. I'll report you for harassment and bullying.
Wow.
Because I'm lactose
Wow.
intolerant.
It's upsetting.
And that is a form of bullying by eating cheese in front of me.
Oh my God, this is
As I eat cheese.
this is horrible. That's so fun. That's where the first one was filmed, was in Canada. Oh, I don't think I knew the first one was shot in Canada. That's awesome. Very nice. How many of these movies were shot in Canada? Now I'm starting to think all of them were. Now I'm starting to. I know at least 2. 2 of them definitely. Cody is saying, Jake, I'm getting a camera and mic next month. When I do, we need to set a date. Cody wants to go on a date with me. Madison's going to get jealous. And have me. I always wanted to talk horror with you. Cody, let me know when you're. Are you going to start a YouTube channel? Let me know. Let me know as well. We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll make something happen.
Erica can have me.
Oh my God.
It'll work out perfect.
Madison and Erica are just gonna get together. There we go. It's brutal. Erica's also saying a form of bullying because she can't have cheese is hilarious.
I say as I'm eating cheese.
She is eating cheese right now. She is lactose intolerant. I don't know why she does these things to me. This is punishing me ultimately at the end of the day. But yeah, here we are. Tori is saying about to rewatch 4 right now, and a trailer for The Woman in the Yard plays right before. There you go. Hey, so little bit of taste of the old, taste of what's to come. I love that. Very exciting stuff. I hope you enjoy, Tori. I hope you enjoyed that one. Should I change the profile for my locked in phase? Everyone's talking about this movie. What is locked in? How have I not heard of this? Jake S is confirming the 5th movie was shot in Vancouver also. All of these movies were shot in Vancouver. I'm convinced. You can't tell me otherwise, even if they weren't. Cody is peacing out. Cody, thank you for stopping by. If you do start a YouTube channel, let me know. We'll make something happen. But this is where I leave the chat. I have some things to do. Very dramatic, Cody. I hope you get all these things done. Your quest for the Holy Grail. He's on a quest. He's got to get the Holy Grail, okay? We got to let Cody go and do his thing. Jeez. 1, 2, and 3 were all filmed in Canada. How about that, eh? I love that. That's really funny, Ella. I love horror movies shot in Canada. This is something I'm learning about more and more and more. So many great horror movies were shot up north, which I think is very cool. So, rock on Canada. Rock on Chicago. Ella is saying, peace, Cody. Peace out, Cody. Pretty Kitty saying, pizza. I love pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? The Man in the White Van was eerie. Definitely one to check out. The Man in the White Van, I must have missed that one as well. I have missed a ton of horror movies, apparently, because as Eric, who was hanging out with us earlier, said, he sent me a bunch of screeners recently for a bunch of new horror movies. So you guys might be seeing a lot of new reviews up on the page soon. I got like a ton of screeners for new Shudder movies that I think some of them have not been released yet. So your boy's going to try to watch as many of these as I can in the week. But like I was saying earlier, I definitely want to have a review out of Ash and Novocaine this weekend for channel members. I am so excited to watch both of these movies. I have heard nothing but good things about both of them. So very excited to go into it and see these ones. I did not have any time this week to go to the theater. There are so many movies out right now, not just in the world of horror, that I really want to see. And, you know, honestly, I'm reading about... I'm reading about all of these movies that are going to going to theaters that aren't doing very well, original movies. And I've kind of made this internal decision that I think I'm just going to go see new original movies. Like no matter what it is, I'm going to find time in my schedule to make it happen. I'm just gonna do it. I am like actually devastated that some of the best original movies this year have had like no press, nothing, hardly any coverage. Companion, excellent movie, really fun time. I'm not calling it a masterpiece or anything, but I had an excellent time with this one. I really enjoyed watching it in the theater, and it did not do very well. The same can be said with many new horror films and just new original movies as well. Novocaine, not doing very well at the box office. I'm like actually pissed about that. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. People care more about franchise continuations than original movies. And I know we're literally doing a stream about Final Destination 6 right now. I am excited for this movie, but I'm also very excited for a lot of original movies that are dropping this year. I mean, I think actually 2023 is an exception, but besides that, almost every year that I've done this page, I think I've listed as an original movie as my favorite film of the year. There's so much good original horror that comes out every single year that unfortunately a lot of people miss. So I'm going to start doing this. I have the Regal app where I get a free screening of a movie every single day. It's $18 a month. You save a ton of money if you go to the theaters a lot. This is not a sponsored segment, by the way, at all. I'm genuinely encouraging people, go see original movies. We really shouldn't let Hollywood just tell themselves, hey, well, we can only make money on sequels now. We gotta change the narrative a bit here. So go see an original movie, even if it's something you're not interested in. Give it a shot. Try it out. Maybe you get surprised. I've been surprised by a lot of really good horror films out there. So anyways, we have some really fun chats that I want to get to here. Austin Allman is saying, have you seen Mr. Crockett on Hulu? Man, again, Austin, you're having some of the best chats tonight. I got to be honest, because you're setting me up to talk about all my favorite things. You want to talk about a great original movie that, again, I just don't understand why it went straight to streaming? Mr. Crockett, a top 3 horror film from last year. And last year was excellent for horror. Mr. Crockett blew my fucking mind. I put this on thinking it was going to be just a dumb little horror comedy, and it is genuinely one of my favorite horror films from last year. I think I listed it as number 3 in my top 10. It's basically like, it's got like this Candyman or like Nightmare on Elm Street feel, but a very different version of a supernatural slasher. I loved it. It's a 10 out of 10 for me personally, and I think the director of this one should direct the next Nightmare on Elm Street. I think they've proven that with Mr. Crockett over on Hulu. I loved this film so much. I want a physical copy of it. I want to put that one on my shelf. I could not, again, in terms of original horror, you need to watch Mr. Crockett on Hulu. This, just like Prey, which also was a Hulu release, should have gotten a theatrical release, in my opinion. This was so good. Don't skip on Mr. Crockett. It's basically it's like a children's TV show host who he's a supernatural slasher who protects kids who are in like not very good situations at home, where maybe they have abusive parents, and it's kind of got like a little hint of commentary, but it is just so fun and over the top, and some insane, fantastical Freddy Krueger inspired kills, which any fan of that series will absolutely dig into. It's got a little bit of a Terrifier essence to it, maybe, but definitely a totally different tone in terms of story and some of the things it's talking about. But man, I loved it. Mr. Crockett was awesome. Yes. The Crooked Man? The Conjuring character? The Crooked Man is a character that pops up in the sequel, The Conjuring 2. Did you know they were supposed to do a spin-off of The Crooked Man that got canceled?
What?
Yes. What? Yeah, they were supposed to do an entire Crooked Man movie. I don't know why it got canceled. It got turned into the Bye Bye Man, which I don't know if you guys know this. So here's something that's really funny about the Bye Bye Man. That was shot here in Ohio, very close to where I live.
Like the library?
Baldwin Wallace. They shot it on Baldwin Wallace. And if you watch Red Right Hand, which is our Scream fan film, this was not on purpose, by the way. This is a total accident. We shot in the same place where they shot on Baldwin Wallace campus for the Bye Bye Man. So Red Right Hand and the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man, which is what the film is commonly referred to, because the quality is
I saw Right when it came out to stream.
We shot something in the same place, I guess is my point. But Bye Bye Man, it's kind of just a shittier version of Candyman, which I don't think you've seen. You have to see Candyman. You have to see it. It's so good. But that's kind of my thing about it. It's kind of just it's the same thing. It's like if you say his name, he appears, or if you write it, if you think it, he shows up. It's kind of the same thing as Candyman in a sense. Candyman is terrifying, dude. Oh shit, we got to put on Candyman like tonight, dude. It's so good.
The Bye Bye Man, like actively looks scarier than what I've seen of stills of the Candyman. Like
Candyman is scary. Like, okay,
does it look?
you haven't seen the bee. You haven't seen the scene with the bees, though.
I haven't seen any.
So in Candyman, there's a scene where he actually has like what is it, like 100 fucking bees on his face, like legit bees. It's like, Jesus Christ, how did my guy get all those bees on there? There was a clause in his contract, I think, where it's like every time he got stung, he got like another $1,000 or something like that. I know that's not right. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it was something ridiculous like that. But you have to see Candyman. It's so good. It's a horror classic, and unfortunately, it does not get the praise that I think it deserves. What's up? We can watch Conjuring 2 as well, because I do need to do a rewatch before the new one comes out. Scott Royston is gifted 5 KillJoy Jake memberships. Thank you, Scott. You're too kind. Appreciate you a ton. Those are going to Austin Tweedy, TJ Sanders, Coke, not the stuff you snort, and also not the drink. Not sure what's going on with that name. What's up, fella? Martin Shaw and Travis Dale have all become members. Well, you guys can hang out on the members only stream on Wednesday, which is where I think I'm giving away these smile things because we just did not meet our super chat goal again. Major bummer, guys. You guys just don't want smile and smile too. I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy. But anyways, stop on by the stream on Wednesday. That's kind of the most fun part about being a member. You get an extra stream every single week, and we get into more chaos just like this. Do you think horror only does well during October or a few months before, asks Erica? I think that's a really good question because horror lately, especially, I think has been kind of one of the only genres where I feel like originality has really just thrived. Like there's been a lot of movies that haven't done very well at the box office, sure, but in terms of like what's the most original concept going around right now, I think horror, at least for the last 5, 6, 7 years, I'm gonna say 7 years, I'm gonna confidently say that, has had the most originality in any genre, without a doubt. I mean, comedy is all but died at this point. Every comedy movie we get is adjacent to something else, right? I mean, like the new Minecraft movie, you can look at that as a comedy, but it's also a Minecraft movie. It's attached to a gigantic IP, which is what's bringing in people to the theater. Nobody wants to make just a straight up comedy anymore. We have Happy Gilmore 2 coming out, but again, attached to an already established IP. When was the last? What was the last really popular comedy movie that was just an original thing? Anyone But You was a romantic comedy that is a major outlier because yes, it was that. But besides that, we don't get movies like that anymore, which I think is really a shame because I would love more of those. Even action movies. I mean, there's always a gimmick nowadays to get people to go see them. The Beekeeper, dude. I mean, it's John Wick with bees. That's all it is. I saw it's the same plot as John Wick, except with replace the dog with an old woman who gets killed, and it's essentially the same thing boiled down. Same old revenge plot. Add in a ton of bee puns and Jason Statham. That's it. And now he has a new movie called Working Man, which is the same movie, except instead of a beekeeper, he's a construction worker. What is going on with Hollywood, man? I'm really turning into a cynical critic, aren't I? But point being, I just think horror, where I'm going with all this, is that horror just is consistently one of the most original genres out there. I mean, a movie like The Substance, which I will never stop talking about, is so unbelievably original. Like, it's ferociously original and pissed off in such a great way. And I just feel like most of the other movies that I see don't have that kind of personality. They're too afraid to have too much of a personality anymore. I think the majority of movies that go to theaters nowadays are trying to appeal to as many people as possible, and I just don't know if that works. Like, I get it, I get that we have to make a certain number on these movies for them to be worth it. I understand that, but I think if more movies went all in on just one demographic, one concept, I actually think they would do better. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it, but I think that's why horror typically does pretty well throughout the entire years, because they commit to the bit. They just say to themselves, we're going to do this, and we're going to make a lot, we're going to actually make money doing it. So I think that, and that's why Blumhouse movies, I think, even still make money, is because the concepts are interesting. Maybe they're not always executed very well, but you can see something original that could happen there that, again, doesn't always. But horror to me is a much more forgiving genre. I think there's a lot more going on that people who crave original movies are still finding in horror, where maybe they're not in most other genres, and that's why it still prevails. That's why I think that you have movies like Terrifier doing so well at the box office, because it's a movie that's, beyond an R rating. It's being widely released and making a ton of money. Why is that? It's that reason. It's because we're getting something new at the theaters that hasn't really been done before. And Terrifier, sure, I mean, it's inspired by other things that came out before it, of course. But when, it's basically like a video nasty getting a wide release. That was unheard of 40 years ago. That's insane. And now that's so popular and so immediately shot into the main face of pop culture for that reason, because it is something fresh that's happening down at the theater, where I would argue that most things are not, which is a shame. A lot of other genres are just trying to just appeal to the most amount of people. It just kind of ends up feeling like gray sludge. So when a movie does have a lot of personality, no matter one way or the other, love it or hate it, that tells me that there's something there. And that's why I really love stuff like The Substance or Terrifier or even Mr. Crockett, which is just a straight to streaming release, but it still fits the bill. So horror is effervescent. It will continue to, as long as it continues to have a personality like how it has, it will continue to rise to the top. And I hear what you're saying, Erica, about it only doing, like, it mostly does do well around spooky season. But more people are coming around to horror, especially here in the 2020s, and I think that's kind of why we're in a little bit of a horror renaissance right now. So horror is still doing great, which is awesome, and it's not as uncommon for horror movies to do well at the theaters anymore, So I don't know. I'm very happy with the state of horror. I wish that some of them, there's some bombs that happen where I'm just like, that sucks, that's unfortunate, but it's not like every single movie is losing money like, well, another company out there who's putting out a lot of movies right now. But anyways, Pirate X is saying, do you think we will get more Halloween movies in the Thrawn timeline? The Thorn. I'm like, Thrawn? Are you like Tron? Or are we talking about like the Tron Halloween crossovers? No, the Thorn timeline. The only reason I say no to this is because these are movies that I believe were straight to VHS, straight to video. I don't know if this is a series that will get continued, which is unfortunate, but I could totally see a new movie coming out that takes those same ideas and reinvents them. I mean, you could kind of argue that Halloween Ends, for instance, is reinventing a lot of the ideas from Halloween 6, just in its own unique way. So, I mean, I could totally see another movie like that happening, and it technically already has, but, will we get more films in that storyline, so to say? I don't know. I don't think so. And I do understand the want for more, though, because it does feel a little unfinished. Halloween 6, no matter what cut you watch, just feels like an unfinished movie. Unpolished at best, I think. There's two cuts of the movie which are always talked about. I think I prefer the producer's cut, but both of them they're odd films. They're definitely weird and nonsensical in parts, but they're interesting. I definitely understand wanting more from that timeline. I want more from the timeline we just got, but I think what would be best for Halloween at this point is just give me another movie with Michael Myers killing people in the late 70s, early 80s. That's all I want from the franchise at this point. So I'm really hoping there's going to be another Halloween movie. That's just the nature of the game. We're going to reboot that series at some point. I would love to see another movie that's just 1978 again. Michael escapes and he deals with some different people. It's an alternate timeline kind of story. Instead of running into Laurie Strode, he attacks some other folks. Maybe he doesn't go after babysitters this time around. Maybe someone is just fucking around at his house and he's going and killing them. I don't know, but I think that would be fun. We got to set it in the 70s. Again, I think that's just going to add to the nostalgia factor without it being so pointed out and in your face. Because I think that's another issue I have with a lot of modern films is that they're so like, hey, remember that? Hey, remember this? There's ways that you can do that without it being so obvious, without it being just crammed down your throat. And a really easy way to do that is set these movies that you're continuing in the time period that they're from. It's just a style and story. It totally affects your story that in a way that is nostalgic, but I think also aids to slasher films in general. It's way easier to tell a slasher in the times before cell phones. Like, I think if I ever do another slasher, it's going to be set before 1999. The next slasher movie I write, I don't see it taking place in the 21st century. But yes, I don't know. I would love to see the next Michael Myers film, whatever it is, series, movie, set in the 70s or the 80s. That would be fun. Erica is saying, "Dare, drugs are really exciting." Dear God, what is going on in the chat? I go on a rant for like 2 seconds, and we're just saying crazy shit in the chat. What is happening right now? I'm not gonna. Nope, no, I'm not gonna read that. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Jack is saying, "Yo, Jake, what's up? Have you watched the movie Man Bites Dog?" No. I have not watched Man Bites Dog. I heard of that movie. What is it? Night Bitch, I think. That's a legit movie. I swear, I'm not making that up. Madison's laughing at me, but that's a real movie. It's about a woman who turns into a dog, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I have not seen it, but I do remember covering that one on the page. Man Bites Dog, though, I have not seen that. That's wild. Scott Royston is saying The Substance might be original, but I've heard bad things about it. That wasn't that great. I could be wrong. I haven't seen it yet. Who's talking bad about The Substance? Go see it, dude. I think it's one of the most powerful horror films I've seen in my entire time of covering this. It is incredible and so fucked up. Madison was upset after she didn't. That one was too much for her. She did not like that one. I really think it's some of the best body horror that I've seen in a modern film, and we're talking about the 2020s where Brandon Cronenberg has put out some badass fucking movies, dude. So The Substance, it's incredible. It's one of my favorite horror movies from the modern day. Gangster Bro is saying, "Are you excited for the Toxic Avenger remake?" Yes. Oh my God. Everything I learn about this movie makes it more interesting, more and more interesting. The brand new little teaser trailer that just came out for it captures the tone of the Toxic Avenger very well, in my opinion. I think there's so much to love about that, about that little teaser. I can tell that they're totally hitting on what makes that original movie so great. So I cannot wait to see it. This one looks like a ton of fun. Looks very Trauma too, which is very important, I think, to telling this story and getting it right. It's a hard balance to strike. Trauma it's very in your face. It's very gory, very special effects heavy, but also very satire heavy. It has like a cartoonish, comical personality about it. It's a tough tone to strike because it is so dark and so cartoonish all in one bag. But I think that they've struck that here with Mason Blair's new movie here. So I can't wait to see it. What's up? Oh, yeah, you should take that. So are the characters from the new Final Destination related to the characters from the first one? Is that why it's called Bloodlines? Thomas, I think that it's called Bloodlines for a reason that we're going to get into in a video this Monday. But to kind of sum it up, and again, check out the video on Monday because I'm going to go way deeper into this. There's a character from the past in one of the books that I think is connected to literally every character we have seen thus far. And I think Bloodlines is finally going to get into that and how all these movies are all tied together. So I really think that's why this movie is subtitled that. We've also heard a few things about Bloodlines that line up perfectly with this novel that I'm talking about. We know that there's going to be a fire of some sort in this film, which directly lines up with one of the novels. And we also know that our main character knows that a descent, like someone from her past and her lineage, also dealt with the Final Destination premonition bullshit. I think that's absolutely where we're going with this one. And again, I will go more in detail on this in a new video on Monday. I did a lot of research, and I'm really excited for you guys to see this video. I think it's one of my best theory videos I've ever made. I'm really, really excited for you guys to see it. What else is happening? Jack is saying Man Bites Dog is like the house that Jack built meets the TV show Barry. I'm sold with that description. That's insane. The house that Jack built, I think, is one of the most upsetting horror films I've seen. I just loved that one. Wow, I've seen that movie like 3 times, and I can't believe I've seen it that many times. It is that is wow, fuck. That's an upsetting one. I could talk about the house that Jack built all day long. I love it. Barry is also a great show. I have not finished it. The first 2 seasons are excellent, though. I'm into it. I'm very into this. Man Bites Dog. I'm gonna have to put that on the watch list, Jack. That sounds awesome. Child's Play fan is saying, do you agree with Critical Overlord when he says that Cat in the Hat movie will cause Scream to change its release date? I don't think Dr. Seuss has the same power it once had. I respectfully to Critical Overlord, he's a great friend. He's awesome. I don't think it's going to cause any competition to Scream. It's a kids movie. I don't see how that would. I mean, listen. Kids might sneak into Scream just like how they did with Terrifier, but that's not going to affect the box office of Scream. You know. We know that for Terrifier 3. Kids were buying tickets for The Wild Robots and sneaking in to Terrifier 3 to go see it. Didn't affect the box office. If anything, it just built more hype with it. So if kids are buying tickets to Cat in the Hat and then they sneak into Scream 7, that is only going to build more hype for the film, drawing in more ticket sales. So I guess they lose a little bit of money to gain a lot more. I can't see that hindering the film. If they release it in February, like how they say that they're going to, I think that it will actually do better with a kids movie against it. I hope that it releases with a kids movie alongside it so that more people can sneak into it and more people can write articles about kids sneaking into it, therefore drawing more people into it who might not have gone to see it otherwise. So no, I don't think that's going to hinder the release at all. I think it's I don't know. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't know. I don't think that would be the reason why they changed the release date. I think they could change the release date just to change it to fall. You know, maybe that would just be a more optimal time to release a horror film, like Erica was talking about earlier. I don't think they're going to do it because of a new Cat in the Hat movie. I think that's just that's a little silly in my opinion. There is a new Cat in the Hat. Bill Hader is going to be Cat in the Hat, reprising the role from the SNL skit where he plays the character. And Mike's great. I love the original. Don't get me wrong, but I am excited to see this one. Guys, if you have not seen the Bill Hader Cat in the Hat SNL sketch, look it up. It's so worth your time. Did you just say who's Bill Hader? Oh, heartbroken. Psh, crosses in my heart. He's in a meme on TikTok, she says. Dear God. Legion is saying, hey, Jake, what's up, bro? How's it going? Jake, would you consider Saw X to be the true final ending to John Kramer since Saw 11 is unfortunately canceled? You know, I just watched Saw X again the other night, and it really is fantastic. I mean, it might be one of the best Saw films, and I think you could argue it is the best one. I don't know if I would, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's up there. I mean, it's a top 3 from the franchise, easy. I love Saw X to death. I think that it is a perfect examination of the Jigsaw character in terms of how his mind works. And again, just diving into the more human side of the character, why he's doing what he's doing. You know, it just really examines that in such a perfect way that does feel like a perfect swan song or just ending denouement, I guess, to the series in a really fucked up sort of way. I'm so bummed that Saw 11 is not happening, Legion, let me tell you, but I'm at the same time, I think that yes, Saw X totally works as a great ending to the series or the timeline in general. We could do it. We could end it there, but there are unanswered questions from Saw X that I would love to get answers to at the same time. Like, dude, you're telling me Cecilia Peterson is still alive? Fuck that. No. I want to see John Kramer get her revenge, or get his revenge on her is what I meant to say, because that's what? No way. No, she can't be alive. That's crazy. So I really hope that somehow, some way, this movie can still happen with Tobin Bell, who admittedly is getting up there. If he wants to be done, I understand. Because he's an older guy, and I respect it. But God, I want some more Saw. I want some more Saw so bad. Oh, I love this series. There's such good movies. What's up? He is on Criminal Minds. Does he play a killer in on that show?
We watched the episode.
Which episode? I don't remember.
The marionette dolls.
That is not Tobin Bell. That is Brad Dourif. That's the voice of Chucky.
Oh, the voice of Chucky.
Yes, and that is an awesome episode. Let me tell you. Is Tobin Bell on Criminal Minds? I wouldn't be shocked if he was. I know Matthew Lillard is. Matthew Lillard is in an episode, which is shocking. Madison we were watching Criminal Minds a while back, and she's like, "You have to watch this show. You're not gonna believe who the guest star is." And I'm like, "Okay, let's put it on. Let's see what it's all about." And Matthew Lillard just shows up playing like such a down to earth serial. Not down to earth. That's the wrong way. Like grounded. He's a grounded character where like all of his other characters in movies are so over the top, you know. But Tobin Bell is. I thought he was. I thought we had talked about that.
We watched the episode.
Oh, did we? Why do I not remember? I don't remember Tobin Bell in Criminal Minds. If anyone knows that out there in the chat, that would be really cool. Joe is saying, who doesn't know Bill Hader? No hate, but come on. I know, right? Bill Hader's, oh my God. Have you, why can't I think of a movie with Bill Hader, man? Why is the Alien Seth Rogen movie the only thing that's coming to mind? I mean, Bill Hader's so excellent on SNL. He's in It Chapter 2. You saw the It movies?
That one.
Yeah. Did you see Chapter 2?
Mm-mm.
You didn't see Chapter 2?
Jake, that is the only It movie I've seen.
There's only 2 It movies. That's a miniseries. The miniseries is fun.
Like the 19 or whatever?
1991, yeah.
Never saw that one.
It's fun. I think the new movies are better personally, but I think Tim Curry is an excellent Pennywise. I think he carries that miniseries. He's awesome. But anyways, let's get back to this. If Michelle Randolph's character dies in Scream 7, I will riot. I swear to God. The speculation right now is that they're part of the opening scene, and that's one of the theories that I've heard, which is interesting. Oh wait, yeah. Erica's saying, Madison, look up Bill Hader as Stefan on SNL. Have you seen that before? No way, you haven't seen. Oh my God, that's crazy. I'm gonna educate her after this. We're watching a ton of YouTube videos because we're gonna watch some Bill Hader videos first though. I can't believe you haven't seen some of his SNL bits. Oh my God. One of my favorite ones is he's the reporter character that he does that keeps hitting people in the face with a microphone. That is so fun. That like every time I see one of those, that cracks me up. If you guys have not seen that. Oh my God, he's in Superbad. You're so right. Oh my, he's the cop in Superbad. How did I forget about that? McLovin, where are you going? Oh my God, yes. Wow, thank you, Legion. That's a great catch. That movie's so good. I love that film. I love Paul, such a C+ movie with an A+ cast. I could not agree more. That's an SNL sketch. Yeah, Bill Hader's great, dude. Oh my God. That's crazy. The best Saw movie is still the best. I mean, I would agree that the best Saw movie is the best one, but which Saw film is the best one, Scott? I'm curious. What's your favorite one? I think the original is objectively the best one. 6 is a personal favorite of mine. I think 6 is my number one, just from personal preference. I just think that the traps in the story in that one are just like perfect. Like I love it. 6 is like just my personal favorite, but the first one I think has the best story. You can't beat that. You can't beat the story of the first one. Excuse me, oh my God. I'm my throat's all drying up. Can't wait for Robert Eggers' werewolf film. I'm excited for that one too. Robert Eggers is on a roll, dude. I mean, he has just 4 movies that none of them are misses in my opinion. I can't wait for the next one. And we have it's just been a joke in the house lately about the Nosferatu meme. I don't know why, but that's just like come up in conversation a lot. My buddy Connor and I we're working on a screenplay together, and literally every time we go back and forth about it through text, he sends me a picture of Nosferatu saying "bounce on it." And I don't know why, but it's just been a thing lately. So I am just cracking up about that. What? What's up? Oh, I don't think I that I have not seen.
Half right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what Skeleton Twins is about, but it's a meme with Bill Hader.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's I think it's time for me to sign off because I'm ready for a little nap. But we will be live again on Monday, so stop on by then. Members only stream on Wednesday, and of course another Final Destination countdown next Friday. So stop on by. We got 7 more of these bad boy streams coming out real soon. So stop on by, and maybe you'll even win a Smile digital code. Who knows? Anything can happen. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Thanks for talking a little horror with me. It's been a blast. As always, don't forget to subscribe. Would appreciate that a ton. And also don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. We got to wait a couple of seconds to end this stream. Wait for it. I don't want to get cut off mid thing. Everyone's saying